Hey, James, check this out. Look at the cover of this book. You've got a knight, a cool treehouse, and is that a magic book? Okay, so if you could open that magic book and go anywhere, where would you go?
I want to see that knight. A real knight in shining armor.
A knight? No way. Me too. That would be an awesome adventure. Well, guess what? You're in luck because that's exactly what our story is about today. Welcome, everyone, to our first adventure together. We're about to dive into the second book in the Magic Treehouse series, The Knight at Dawn. All right, so let's get into it. Our story kicks off with one of our main characters, Jack. And get this, he's wide awake in the middle of the night. He just can't sleep. Why? Well, he can't stop thinking about this absolutely incredible adventure he and his sister Annie just had. The book actually says, yesterday so many strange things had happened. Now he was trying to figure them out. You know that feeling, right? When something so cool happens, you just keep replaying it in your head? That's Jack. So he flips on his light and grabs his notebook to try and make sense of it all. So Jack's looking at his notebook and he's jotted down the highlights. It's like a little cheat sheet of their adventure. First, found a treehouse in the woods. Okay, cool. Then, pointed to a picture of a pteranodon. Next thing you know, poof, they went all the way back to the time of the dinosaurs. Insane, right? And to get home, all they had to do was point to a picture of their hometown, Frog Creek, and bam, they were back.
Daddy, what's a pteranodon?
Oh, that's a great question. A pteranodon, that's zilong in Chinese, is a type of flying reptile. It's not exactly a dinosaur, but it lived at the same time. They actually met a super friendly one in the first book. So right when Jack is deep in thought, who shows up? His sister, Annie. She pops into his room, looks over his shoulder at the list, and she's like, hey, you forgot something really important, the gold medal. But Jack, he likes to get things just right. He corrects her and says, you mean the gold medallion. So that's a new word for us. What's a medallion, James? Well, it's like a really big, fancy medal, kind of like a big coin you can wear on a necklace. In Chinese, we'd say, 一个金色奖章. Okay, so this is a huge clue. They found this gold medallion way back in dinosaur times, and carved right onto it was the letter M. Now this gets them thinking. This is the big mystery they're trying to solve. Who owns this magical treehouse? Who is this mysterious person whose name starts with M? What's your theory, James?
Maybe a magician or a monster.
A monster? Whoa, that would be pretty scary, wouldn't it? A magician? I like that idea. Well, it's a mystery we're just going to have to solve as we keep reading. Annie, who is always ready for an adventure, she wants to go back to the treehouse right now to solve the mystery. But Jack thinks she's nuts. He says the sun's not even up yet. He's worried about wandering around in the dark. How about you, James? Would you want to go exploring in the woods before the sun even comes up? No, it's too dark and spooky. I'm with you on that one. It sounds a little dangerous. Let's see who wins this argument, Jack or Annie. This part really shows you how different they are, doesn't it? Jack is the careful planner, but Annie is all about action. And it looks like action wins this time. Jack actually agrees to go, but he tells her they have to be super quiet. So he quickly gets dressed, grabs his backpack, and they start to sneak downstairs. They're really doing it. So they are officially on a mission. When Jack gets downstairs, Annie is waiting for him with a little surprise. She shines a light right in Jack's face and says, ta-da, a magic wand. Isn't that funny? She calls her flashlight a magic wand. So a flashlight, flashlight, is a small light you hold in your hand that runs on batteries. 手电筒. Super useful when it's dark, right?
Yeah, I have the Spider-Man one.
A Spider-Man one. That's awesome. So, armed with Annie's magic wand, they sneak outside into the cool, dark morning. The woods are so quiet and a little spooky before sunrise. The book says, Jack held his breath. The dark woods were scary. I mean, just imagine walking through trees when they just look like these tall, dark shadows. A little creepy, yeah. And then, through the darkness, they finally see it. The treehouse. Way up in the tallest oak tree. And Annie, she doesn't hesitate for a second. She points her light at the ladder and just says, I'm going up. Jack tries to tell her to wait, but nope, she's already climbing. And then her light disappears inside. Wow, she is so brave. And now poor Jack is all alone in the dark. Now, Jack is definitely scared, but he's also way too curious to just stay down there. He really wants to see those books again. So he takes a deep breath, climbs up that long ladder, and crawls into the treehouse. It's pitch black inside until Annie turns her flashlight on all the books scattered on the floor. They're still here. she whispers. Okay, this is really cool because this slide shows us the most important books just sitting there waiting for them. You've got the dinosaur book that took them on that first wild trip. Then there's the Pennsylvania book, which is the one they used to get home. But then there's a new one, a big book about knights and castles, and it even has a cool blue leather bookmark sticking out of it. Knights and castles! Daddy, a knight!
Exactly. See? Remember what you wished for at the very beginning? There it is, a book about a knight. And a knight, spelled Knight, was a warrior from a long time ago, in the Middle Ages, who wore shining armor and rode a horse. So that's Keeshaw. It really looks like your wish might come true, James.
And Annie is just as excited as you are, James. She opens the book right to the page with the bookmark, and there's this amazing picture and a knight on a huge black horse. But before Jack can stop her, she says the magic words. We wish we could see this guy for real. And Jack shouts, No, we don't. Uh-oh. We all know what happens when someone makes a wish in the magic treehouse, don't we? Yep, just as Jack is yelling, No, it's already too late. The magic is starting. The book says, the wind began to moan, the leaves began to tremble. Can you make a spooky moaning wind sound, James?
Ooh.
That's perfect. That's the sound of the treehouse waking up and getting ready for a brand new adventure. And then it happens. The whole treehouse starts to spin. The book says it spun faster and faster. Jack squeezed his eyes shut. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. And that's where we're going to hit pause on our story. The treehouse has stopped spinning. But the big question is, where in the world are they? Before we find out where they've landed, let's take a quick break. It's time to open up our vocabulary treasure chest. That's right, it's our 电器小宝箱 time. Let's go over some of those important new English words we learned today. Okay, James, ready to do these with me? Let's go. The first one is medallion.
Medallion.
You got it, medallion. And that is 铮铮. Okay, number 2 is flashlight.
Flashlight.
Perfect, flashlight. 手电筒. And the third one, your favorite, knight.
Knight.
Knight. 骑士. And where does a knight often live? In a big, strong building called a castle.
Castle.
Castle. Turnbow. Awesome job. Medallion, flashlight, knight, and castle. So, to recap, the treehouse has stopped spinning. Jack and Annie made their wish to see a real knight, and poof, they've arrived somewhere totally new. The big question on everyone's mind is, where are they? So, what do you think they'll find when they open their eyes? They wish to see a knight, so I'm betting we're going to see a huge castle just like this one. But will the knight be friendly, or will he be dangerous? What do you think, James?
I think they will meet the knight and he'll be a good guy.
I really hope you're right. Well, we're going to have to wait and find out what happens next time. Thanks so much for joining our adventure into the Magic Treehouse. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.